Norton from Washington, D.C. for 5 minutes.
This newly formed subcommittee has been nothing but a sham so far, this Congress. But this hearing takes this subcommittee to a new low, one of hate and bigotry. I have spent my life fighting for civil and human rights of all Americans. I did so in the civil rights and women's rights movements, as a lawyer, as chair of the New York City Commission on Human Rights, and as chair of the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. And I do so now as the only member of Congress representing the more than 700,000 residents of the District of Columbia who are denied voting representation in Congress and full self-government despite paying full federal taxes. I am disgusted this subcommittee would use its power to target transgender people. But since the subcommittee is intent on talking about safety, let us talk about it. Ms. Goss-Graves, last year the Center for American Progress found that nearly half of transgender adults experience discrimination in public spaces. What kind of discrimination do transgender people face?
So transgender people face a wide amount of discrimination. They have trouble getting hired. They are more likely to experience harassment at work, in school, in other settings. They experience violence. Disproportionately transgender women experience violence. So the types and forms of discrimination that the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission used to track thoroughly is vast and could and should be the subject again of this committee. The committee could look at the wide range of discrimination that transgender individuals are experiencing at work and what is happening now at the EEOC now that it is not treating that type of discrimination in the same way that it used to.
Please discuss the violence transgender people face.
Well, it is everything from sexual violence to assault in a lot of different types of spaces that, one might feel safe ordinarily for trans people, especially when the rhetoric has increased, especially when at the highest parts of our government, they are suggesting that it is okay to insult and to make it seem like transgender people are less than human. And it is, what I think both our laws and my moral compass requires that anytime there is an organized effort to demonize a small group of people, that our laws have something to say about that. We should scrutinize the why. We should make sure there isn't harm. But my own moral compass, I will say, has something to say about that, about any time a group of people experiences the level of hate and discrimination and violence. It's up to all of us to show up.
Discrimination and violence should never be acceptable. We cannot allow these against anyone. Today's attack on transgender people is a blatant attempt by the Republican majority to distract from the real harm they are causing Americans through their disastrous policies. They are proposing taking away health care and food assistance from tens of millions of Americans to give tax cuts to the wealthy and corporations. Ms. Goss-Graves, if Republicans make these cuts to Medicaid and food assistance, how will this affect the health and well-being of women across this country?
It will be disastrous. Almost half of births in this country are paid for by Medicaid. Women around the country and their families' lives can be upended by having access to health care one day and then not the other. And it will also change access to health care in entire regions. There are large parts of this country, especially in rural areas, that do not have enough healthcare systems. And if Medicaid is gutted, that will only make for more healthcare deserts. And the last thing that I just want to say about this is that Medicaid is sort of the backbone of long-term care. So
The gentlelady's time has expired.